Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we got a treat especial. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. Brusca, I apologize. Me in foreign language, not exactly my strong suit. Speaking of not my strong suit, we are in a destroyer, guys. The Tier 5 Japanese destroyer, the Fubuki. Now, in the last video that you saw I was in the destroyer, I was in the Fletcher, and I mentioned some things that I needed to work on, and this was my way of doing that. I decided to put myself in my pure destroyers. Speaking of which, we're going to go ahead and pop a torpedo into the gap over there and see if it sticks. And as soon as we put a shot out, then the Wyoming gets spotted, so we go ahead and put a couple out towards his direction. But anyway, I wanted to work on my destroyer play. I play battleships pretty well. I'm not the best, obviously, but I play pretty well when I'm in battleships. I need to get better with destroyers, just like in World of Tanks. I started out as an artillery player, and then I had to learn the other facets of the game. It's just what I do. I focus on something, I get really decent at it, and then I move on and learn other things. So, we're going to be focusing on destroyers. And the Wyoming has made a good choice and decided to cut all the way back. Unfortunately, he is going to take a torpedo from the first salvo that I sent, which I just kind of put out there just in case. And that was the best choice possible because we just hit a farragut that I had no idea was there. And then on top of that, we hit the Wyoming. So, and the 3 torpedoes that I launched first, I just managed to hit 2 people and sink one of them with a devastating strike and a first blood for the first time in the match. Not bad for the first opening few seconds of the match, and we caused flooding twice. That's the thing. Flooding isn't supposed to occur all the time. Like, I thought it was supposed to be a chance of flooding, occurring when you hit people with torpedoes. I'll have to look it up. I don't know the exacts. I don't use torpedoes very often, but I get flooding almost every single time that I launch torpedoes, or at least hit with torpedoes. Now, the guy on my left in the furry taco has grown an abnormally sized appendage, and unfortunately for him, he can't cash the check. We launch a set of torpedoes off at the Wyoming that we hit earlier. If he sails in a straight line for long enough, he's going to come into that gap over there, and that's going to be a bad day for him. But we're holding on to the second 2 sets because I'm not 100% sure I want to launch them. Should I wait and go behind and launch from behind, or should I launch into the gap and see if we can catch the New York? I'm 100% sure that this Wyoming is going to catch my torpedo because he has not shown any ability to avoid them. And at this tier, that's the other thing. This is going to have an asterisk next to it because this isn't necessarily me being awesome. It's just that at this tier, people don't know any better. So it's easier to have these sort of games. But it's also the highest tier Japanese destroyer I have currently. Only tier 5. But we go ahead, sure that the Wyoming is about to die. And guess what? Don't look. Don't look. Oh, we're looking. Why are we looking? Down he goes. Finishing him off with another hit and another flood for our second kill of the game. And we launched our torpedoes at that New York as well. And if he sails in a straight line and goes between those 2 islands, he's going to have a bad day. But the best part about this is I managed to get the torpedoes off, and they go such a distance that by the time that they reach their target, I've got torpedoes again. Now, we caused flooding on the New York, as we have so far, and he is flooding to death. There's nothing he can do about it. He's on damage control, cooldown. And then we got the Nuremberg out here, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and give him a couple, just in case he decides to sail in a straight line. Let's hope he does. But we're not going to challenge him because I know what a Nuremberg is capable of, and I don't want to get into a gun battle with him. So we launch our torpedoes and we run away. Now, up to this point, I don't believe we've been spotted. It's not bad. I mean, I've made it how long into the match? halfway through the match and I haven't been spotted. No, 5 minutes into the match and I haven't been spotted yet. What on earth is this black magic forgery, guys? Yeah, that's right. It's a Japanese destroyer. You don't get spotted in a Japanese destroyer unless you're an idiot. Don't worry, it's coming. Foreshadowing? Maybe. But, long story short, we are cutting back to help our teammates. They requested help. I said that I would be there shortly. I looked back over my shoulder, and sure enough, we did manage to connect one of the torpedoes with that Nuremberg, meaning he does not have he did not have a good day, because I have this thing set up specifically for the maximum amount of torpedo damage that I can get. It hurts really bad when this thing hits you with a torpedo. It only takes one torpedo, as the Farragut found out, to really ruin your night. So, you do not want to get hit by this thing's torpedoes. And so, now I have a choice to make. I start laying a smoke screen for the Nuremberg that passed us, and he's going to just keep sailing away, so I basically wasted my smoke screen. But, you know, I try to be a nice guy once in a while, try to give you some cover, but it's fine. Our Iron Duke goes down to a Pensacola, and I know the Pensacola has an escort in the form of the Icarus. And then I saw the Arizona over here on my left, and I'm like, you know what? I can take on a Pensacola and an Icarus at the same time, or I can sneak up on a battleship that has no idea I'm coming and ruin his life. Now, anybody who knows anything about the Arizona knows that the Arizona was sunk by the Japanese during the attack on Pearl Harbor. I'm not a history buff, per se. I'm not a big naval expert. But I do know that's a thing. And unfortunately, this Arizona is going to meet the same fate as the real Arizona, except these aren't airdrop torpedoes. These are These are surface dropped torpedoes. We are going to put everything we got into this. Unfortunately, I'm also going to get detected for the first time this match because I'm an idiot. Wait for it. And we are in range. We have clear shot. Let's go ahead and stack all of our torpedoes as best we can to make sure that if he hits, or if he sails in a straight line, he's going to die. And that is a gorgeous ship, by the way. Especially with that camo. Oh my god! I miscalculated the route around the side of the map. Siri, get me out of here! Or wait, I'm sorry, Galaxy, get me out of here! Google Maps, choose a new route. We gotta get out of here. Now, we managed to get hit, and he only hit me with like 2 shells, took like 1/3 of my health. Unfortunately for him, he just took 3 torpedoes and is now headed to the bottom of the ocean. I mean, we did warn you. And with that strike being another devastating strike, we are now at 104,000 damage with our 4th kill of the game. We have 2 devastating strikes, a first blood medal, and a high caliber. Not bad. Oh, sorry, we got a liquidator too, because we did flood a guy to death. So, we currently are sitting at 5 medals. Not bad. But we can do better. How can we get some more medals, guys? Let's see. I'm thinking we go after the Pensacola. These guys just captured sea. The game is super, super tight. We had the Nuremberg coming back towards our location, but he was sailing away from us, so we don't have to worry about him. But as you can see, they have more caps than us, and the game is now tied. Well, yeah, now it's tied. But just about that time, somebody on my team heard me, and suddenly the Nuremberg disappears, giving us the lead once again, and now they have exited the cap, which means I'm going to start flipping this cap, which is going to secure the lead for our team. Now, I have the Pensacola spotted, which means my teammates are shooting at it, which is good. And I checked my ranges, and he's outside my range. Now, he's about to put up his plane, which is a smart move. He gets that for a long time. And then the destroyer shows his hand by just giving me every opportunity to try to torp him. And so I give wide spreads, and then I steer away from the smoke screen because I do not want to get into a gun battle with a Japanese destroyer. It doesn't end well. Now that being said, the Fubuki is more than capable when it's top tier of handling itself in a gun battle against pretty much everything except for British and American destroyers. But Spartan, that's pretty much all there is at that. Don't get ahead of me. Remember what I said about the Icarus? Hey look, the Icarus just fired his guns into the ocean. Oh, and he almost ate that torp. What a lucky dodge. Just about ate it. We get a good shot, and here we are in a gun battle with a British destroyer. Not where I want to be right now. Luckily for me, he has less health than me, and I should be able to mop the floor with him. Unfortunately, I make some key mistakes. One is not knowing the rotation of my ship when I turn and get rid of the rear guns. Now I get the rear guns back, but he's already managed to get back into the lead. Now we started with a lot less health than he did. And there's all the torpedoes, and hard on the brakes, dodge to the right. Come on, hard to starboard. Yep, we're fine. And now our torps are back, and he is very close, and we're going to go with a widespread and just stack all 3 salvos on top of him. Sure, he kills us. Yes, we could have killed him with the guns, but we got him anyway. Getting our 5th kill, so we get the Kraken Unleashed. We get a Death from the Grave, which is, what do they call that? What do they call it? I can't remember. But if you look, we currently have 8 medals. I think I did my job, guys. We end up with 115,000 damage, 5 kills, 9 hits with the torpedoes, a base capture thrown in for good measure. I think we did our job. So now while we watch the rest of this, I get to talk to you guys about the last video. We had some interesting comments, and I want to talk to you guys about some of those comments. First of all, a lot of people bring up the fact that I dog torpedoes all the time. And there's a reason for that. It's called, I'm a battleship captain, so I'm kind of partial. You know, same reason goes for cruiser captains. It goes, oh, the battleship guns are so OP, they citadel us and they can one-shot us in one shot. It's bullcrap. It's the same thing. Do I actually mean that torpedoes are overpowered? No, it's the person behind the torpedoes that make it overpowered. I am not that person normally. I happen to have a pretty good match, so it happens. But there are some things that I think need addressed with torpedoes in particular. And one of those is the fact that you start the match with them. Everybody else has to load their guns. Torpedoes are already loaded. That's bullcrap. Because that allows you to do what I did at the beginning of this match, which is run straight out, fire my torpedoes off where I know the enemy ships are going to be, and get some early hits and kills without anybody having a chance to do anything against me. So, things like that, I think, are just little changes that they could make to make the game a little bit better. And that's coming from somebody who enjoys the game and would like to see it more competitive. The opening strike of torpedoes doesn't always work. Don't get me wrong. It's a very hit and miss thing. I know, right? But, unfortunately, it is something that probably needs to be addressed, because with a Japanese destroyer like we just did, we have 9.2, no, it's actually over 10 kilometers now, I think, is what my range is on my torps. So over 10 kilometers, I can just pull out, dump my torps, and if you're in that area and you spawn and go forward at all, you're getting torped. And that's exactly what happened to the Wyoming. And the Farragut. So we hit 2 people with with our opening salvo of torpedoes. And that's one thing that I think needs to be addressed. If everybody else has to load their guns and stuff, the torpedoes should have to load as well, which would allow destroyers to be what they're intended to be, which is spotting people for the beginning of the match, but they would be unable to engage unless they want to get into a gunfight, which early in the match is a death sentence, even for American destroyers. Yes, getting in a gunfight with another destroyer, with an American destroyer, you will melt them. You will literally melt any other destroyer other than another American destroyer. It's not even close. With the exception of the German destroyers that are out there now, which just have ridiculous health pools, apparently, because they can take the hit. But anyway, we finished the match. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. 115,000, almost 350,000 credits made, 5,000 XP, which I think was over 3,500 XP in that match. 8 medals, almost taking up the entire screen. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.